What's going on, gamers, friends, and family? This is your boy Puerto 77 coming back at you with another video. Check out the description box there. You'll find my link to my Twitter. Hit me up with a follow so we could talk, chat, and just have fun. Also, you'll see the link to my PayPal if you choose to donate. But if you don't, understand that the most important thing that I appreciate overall is the fact that you're here, enjoying the content, hitting up my channel, hit up the comment section, and tune in every Wednesday for the 60 Frames No Like podcast. It's an amazing podcast that all gamers across the spectrum will enjoy. All right? If you're new to the channel, like the video, subscribe, and enjoy all future content. All right? So now we're going to head into the topic. Sony registers a trademark for a Syphon Filter. Now, this is common for, publishers across the spectrum that owns IPs. Every so many years, these trademarks expire. So in order to maintain the rights to them, they have to, re-register them, every so often. But it's interesting, this particular title was made by Sony Bend Studios, who's currently working on Days Gone. Now, if you don't know, about a couple of months ago, they moved to a new location. Sony built a new studio for them because they doubled in size. I think they have about over 100 people working for them, programmers, developers, artists, all that stuff. So they're a pretty big studio now. And I think they continue to grow. So now they can handle, or they're about to be able to handle 2 projects. Not at the same time, but, stagger them out. Kind of like what Naughty Dog does. They'll work on Uncharted 4, they're working on Uncharted game, and then towards the end, they move over to a new project, The Last of Us. And then when that project's over, they go back to Uncharted, and then they go back to The Last of Us, So it would be logical to think Sony Bend Studios would be able to do the same thing. Now, they already have a new IP, which is Days Gone. Looks phenomenal, looks fantastic. Looking forward to seeing more of that amazing exclusive title for the PlayStation 4. But if they want to handle another IP, you have to ask yourself, which would be the easier method, to bring another IP into your fold? Start a brand new IP from scratch, or to revive an IP that's already known for the PlayStation brand, but hasn't been seen in such a long time? And I think that's a great strategy, because Syphon Filter is one of those well-known IPs that the PlayStation is known for, but it's been dormant for so long. I think the last one we had was back in the PlayStation 2, I think, or maybe the 3 had one. I really can't remember. I have to do a little research, but that's how long it's been. It's been such a long time since we've seen a Syphon Filter. And to be honest, I think it was PlayStation 2 was the last one. I can't remember one being on the 3. I just don't remember. So that to tell you, it's been long overdue, and a lot of gamers enjoy this franchise. It's been a really great franchise. It's just fantastic, with fantastic gameplay. And I think a revival on the PlayStation 4 will be amazing, and an amazing comeback. And this comeback, I think this goes in line with Sony's strategy. They are going to push game agendas. They are going to push games. This is what they do. If you notice, this is not the first time PlayStation platforms had to compete with more powerful platforms. The PlayStation 1 had to do it against the N64. The PlayStation 2 had to do it against the GameCube and the OG Xbox. So Sony knows what it takes to go against consoles that provide superior graphics and performance. And that's just an onslaught of games. Because at the end of the day, every real gamer, every true gamer, understands games. I know this console war, people talk about, true gamers want graphics. No. True gamers want games. That's at the end of the day. It may take a while to develop, but believe me, if your console is known for a ton, I'm talking tons of games across different, varieties and genres, they're going to gravitate to that console. It's always been that way, and it will always be that way, because at the end of the day, the main point of these consoles is to play games. And of course, people are going to say, oh, it's the same multiplats, month to month, yada, yada. Some multiplats will always sell all the time, but besides Call of Duty, gamers want to play other games too, And the thing is, what game do they want to play? Some Call of Duty gamers also like RPGs, so they'll buy an RPG. Some Call of Duty gamers want to play an action game, so they'll buy an action game. Some want to play a Japanese game, some will do it. There's always different tastes that's going to attract gamers. Not every gamer has the same taste, you know. Some, you know, enjoy those big blockbuster third-party multiplats, but they also want other titles. Now, what that title is, it depends, again, on their taste. Is it an RPG? Is it a hack and slash? Is it a story-driven narrative game like, you know, Heavy Rain or Detroit Being Human, you know? Is it is it more sports games, you know? There's just so much variety, and that's what a console needs to provide. And Sony is doing that, you know? They are pushing this. So what does this mean in terms of register? You know, it could mean a whole bunch of things. It could be a remaster, it could be a remake, or it could be simply a brand new title. I would prefer a brand new title. Just go right in and start with a brand new title. I don't think you need to reintroduce the franchise to anybody unless you're trying to do both things. You know, trying to hand it off to another developer to do a full-blown remake of, let's say, the first 3 Syphon Filters, while Sony Ben works on an actual, you know, Syphon Filter 4 or something. You know, something true to the franchise. But that's pretty interesting, you know. So we'll see more. The story probably won't develop for a while. I doubt it's going to go from register to now we're going to see the game at Paris Game Week. It would be incredible, but I highly doubt that. It's probably going to be something for a little while because, again, Sony Ben has to focus on Days Gone. So we'll see what they'll do towards the end of Days Gone. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what happens, all right? Next thing I want to talk about is straight from the PlayStationBras.com website. Check them out, especially if you're big into PlayStation. Great channel, great website, great information. Also check out his Twitter, awesome Twitter, cool dude. I had him on my podcast a couple of times, so check him out there. But right now, and what I like about this, he you know, the author strictly tells people that, hey, it's a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, there's a rumor that where was this source at Reddit, that Devil May Cry 5 will finally be announced at PXX. Dante, Virgil, and Nero will all be playable on the game, right? And then the other rumor is Soul Calibur 6 was told for PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. There was no Xbox One version mentioned to me. Whoever said this rumor. Now, a couple of things. Let's go to Devil May Cry 5. I like this part because what this means is they're going to continue on with the original saga. If we remember, Capcom did a reboot and they called it DMC, and it was done by Ninja Theory. The gameplay was really good, but I think people didn't appreciate the redesigned Dante. He didn't have the same feel as the original Dante that people love. And I guess at that point, Dante became an iconic character. You know, though the original one we know from Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. He's an icon. He's an iconic character. You see him in Capcom versus, you know, Marvel, whatever games. He's just iconic. And that's the character people want. So it's pretty cool that they're going back with that storyline and not doing a DMC 2. All right. The fact that it's being announced at PSX. Well, as you can see, Capcom and Sony have a great relationship this gen. Capcom tried to have a relationship. As you see, they push. What's that game called? Oh man, that zombie game. It's so irrelevant that I don't even remember the name of the game. You guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the zombie game, Dead something, whatever. Dead Rising. There you go. Damn, I can't forget you. My God, it shows how little care I care. It shows how little I care for that franchise. But Capcom released Dead Rising 3 and Dead Rising 4 on the Xbox, and I think Dead Rising 3 did great. You know, sales-wise, I think it sold over 2 million. Took a while to get there, but it did. While Dead Rising 4 completely bombed. Now Dead Rising 4 is on the PlayStation, so that shit just tells you the relationship Capcom has with Microsoft, because notice how Dead Rising 4 went to PlayStation, but notice how Street Fighter 5 didn't go to Xbox. You know, so I don't know if Capcom's happy with the performance that they've been doing on the platform, and maybe they don't have much faith. You know, well, I'm talking about pretty much, there's somebody mentioned that there's possibility that Devil May Cry 5 might be exclusive to PlayStation 5. I want to say at first glance, I doubt it. I don't see why they would keep it, but if they're looking at sales performance, they haven't been doing too well on the Xbox platform. From what I hear, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't do too well on the platform, did a little bit better on the PlayStation. Overall, rumor has it hasn't done too well, but where it has done well within those numbers is on the PlayStation 4 platform, not so much on Xbox. And again, Dead Rising 4 hasn't done too well at all. and now it's on PlayStation 4. So Capcom may not have much faith in the Xbox brand in terms of their games being successful. So this might be an exclusive. Now, if Sony puts in a little bit of funding, a little bit of that cash, some Benjamin Franklin's, there's a chance that it might be exclusive if Sony's willing to back it up. If I was Sony, I would back this up because this is a franchise that is known for PlayStation. Especially this franchise was on the PlayStation 2 and it was exclusive. It wasn't until Devil May Cry 4 went to Xbox, and that changed a lot of things. That changed a lot of perception about PlayStation, where people were saying, why do I need a PS3 when I could play Devil May Cry on the Xbox? So if Sony wants to capture that crowd again, I think they should, do their part to make it, to make themselves again competitive. Now, people might be mad at my statement saying, oh, why are you trying to keep this game away from gamers? In the end, it doesn't really matter for me. If it's on Xbox, if it's on PlayStation, if it's on PC, if it's on a Nintendo Switch, it doesn't matter. As long as this game comes out and I get to play it, I'm going to enjoy it. Doesn't really matter who else gets to enjoy it. I'm just talking about in a sense of competitiveness and how Capcom might view Xbox, So there's a potential. This might be exclusives, but I would say maybe like a 10% chance. I think mostly this will be a multi-plat. But obviously at PSX, they're not going to announce it for Xbox. Kind of like when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was announced at PSX. They didn't mention the Xbox version simply because they're not going to do that at that show. But it didn't mean that it was exclusive. So the same thing could happen with Devil May Cry 5. Overall, I would love to see it at PSX. Would be awesome. Now, the next one is Soul Calibur 4. Now, this one specifically is talking about the possibility of it only being on PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. If that's the case, then Namco is looking at this game from a perspective of pretty much the Japanese console. Now, here's the big question. Why would it only be exclusive to these? No, or I ain't going to say exclusive. That's the wrong word. Why would Xbox be left out? Well, when Tekken 7 came out, word on the street was it did not sell well on the Xbox platform at all. Most of the sales was pretty much PlayStation 4, and Xbox didn't do much. I didn't get no concrete evidence. I tried to search for it. I've been looking for it. I couldn't find any numbers, so that's why I never actually made a video of, Tekken 7 doing poorly on Xbox, because I couldn't find anything to justify it. But now with this little rumor, again, this doesn't exactly make anything concrete, but the fact that a rumor specifically mentioning that no version of the Xbox One for Soul Calibur only leads me to believe that maybe there is some credit to Tekken not doing so on Xbox, and now they have no faith in Soul Calibur 6 doing well on Xbox, so they're just avoiding the platform. So that's pretty interesting to see that. But again, if there's any time to release a Soul Calibur, this is the gen to do it. The fighters are back. They're back in stride. They're doing phenomenal. And everybody's loving them. People are buying them. This is definitely the gen of fighters. To me, this gen is big on fighters than as compared to last gen, because it's crazy. Just the feeling in the gamers just going crazy loving all these fighters. And especially PlayStation 4 is the home of the fighters. It right now has by far the most fighters to play. So if you're a fighting fan, you definitely got to have a PlayStation console. This is the console to beat. But anyway, I'll be honest. I don't care what platform this comes out. Let it come out to all platforms, just as long as this game comes out. I think a lot of people will be looking forward to this game, and we're all going to enjoy it, all right? But this is your boy Puerto Rock 77. Let me know what you think about this video. Are you guys looking forward to Devil May Cry, Soul Calibur, and what you think about, Syphon Filter being re-registered? I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm so glad the talk of hardware is fading away. It's going to be more talk about games, and this is a great way to continue on for 2017, and I think 2018 is going to be bangers. All right, but this is your boy Puerto Rock 77. Just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Set up your notifications, and of course, go to the description box, and you'll see my Twitter handle there, link to my Twitter, and follow me there, all right? But anyway, this is your boy. I'm out of here. You guys enjoyed the rest of your night. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I'm out. You take care. Peace.